The air blockade of Israel by the Houthis continues. A ballistic missile was launched by Houthis at Israel, according to Times of Israel newspaper. Now, before that particular ballistic missile launch, they had another one prior to that. In other words, the attacks are becoming relentless. Whenever Houthis will attack, they will attack multiple salvos of ballistic missiles at once on that particular day. And this is what is causing this air blockade, because right now they have only one aircraft coming to Israel, landing there. Other than that, all other airliners, they have left. I repeat, they have left Israel, causing Israel a huge damage economically. Sirens had sounded across central Israel and the Jerusalem area. Preceding the sirens by around a minute, an early warning was issued to residents, alerting civilians of the long-range missile attack via a push notification to their phones. Hours later, and this is coming from Times of Israel, I'm quoting them. Hours later, another ballistic missile launched from Yemen, apparently aimed at Israel, fell short far from the country, and according to Israeli defense sources. The military identified the launch, but no siren sounded in Israel because the missile did not pose a threat. This is in response to the Zionist massacre against Palestinian people, Al-Quds. Israel on edge. Big rocket barrage launched from Gaza. IDF retaliates with forces. The attacks are not being launched only from Yemen. They are being coordinated with Hamas in Gaza, and together they have joined forces to attack Israel and impose this aerial blockade on the country. What you are seeing right now is a picture of those sirens going off in Israel. Big news. Israel Defense Forces also acknowledges that the rocket firing by the militants came from, I personally, when I was looking into this report, I personally found out, now I could be wrong, it was actually most of them, the rockets were coming from northern Gaza. And that would also include places like Khan Yunis. But IDF, the Israeli Air Forces, have intercepted 2 rockets on Tuesday evening. Now, this interception is a complete fake news, as we know, because most of the time these rockets, they cause so much panic in the hearts of the people of Israel that we have seen them running and going for shelter in hundreds and thousands of them. Whenever the siren goes off, they all take shelter. The Houthis are continuing their attack, and also we see that Hamas is also doing the same thing with barrage of rockets. Now, this is also coming at a time when, as we know, Israel is preparing for a ground offensive against the people of Gaza, trying to level up their genocide, because the only thing you can expect from them is getting worse. When it comes to protecting human life, they level up. They become worse and worse. For the conventional army and warfare, they always try to minimize the collateral damage, the killing of women and children. But this is not a conventional army. These are thugs. These are terrorists. And so every time they kill, they want to kill more. And therefore, they have decided this time to go inside of Gaza and find whoever there is there and kill them. And they have no problem admitting it. They have no problem shamelessly broadcasting it to the world that this is what we will do. Now, this is also coming when this guy, he is in Saudi Arabia, Donald Trump, and I do not know, but there is a report that said that even though Donald Trump had cut ties with Netanyahu, but US is still supplying Israel with all the weapons it needs to continue the genocide in Gaza. There is really no substantial separation between US and Israel when it comes to supplying Israel with these weapons. Donald Trump looks like he can talk a lot, but he cannot stop. He cannot stop this genocide in Gaza. So as we know, that on May 6th, US President Donald Trump declared an end to the strikes on Yemen. He then pulled out from other operations in the Middle East. He's not flying those B-52 or B-2 bombers anymore. He's done with flexing his muscles. He said they were over, effective immediately, talking about Yemen. But getting back to our main point, guys, this Trump administration, they have failed to stop Israel. That's the bottom line of it all. And regardless of what Donald Trump is saying, we want to see action. We want him to call Netanyahu, tell Israel enough is enough. US is not going to backing this genocide in Gaza anymore. But at the same time, we see how Arab leaders, they're welcoming him like a king. I mean, this is a picture of Donald Trump in Saudi Arabia. If he was able to accomplish something in Gaza, he could not bring any peace, stability in the Middle East, but he was greeted as if he was a king there. And this is so unfortunate. US op was struggling and showed sign of reaching imminent conclusion. And again, they're talking about Houthis. Now, Houthis also, the Times of Israel, they have reported that the attacks, so again, attacks, not attack, attacks came a week after Israel carried out 2 days of heavy sorties, targeting infrastructure controlled by the Houthis in response to a missile attack that struck Ben Gurion Airport. After Ben Gurion was hit, most foreign airlines suspended flights to Israel except low-cost airline from Hungary. And guys, we know Hungary is a pro-Israel. They have a pro-Israel government there, and they will not cut ties with Israel at all. The only airliner that is still operating in Israel is Wizz Air from Hungary. Said Tuesday that it expects to resume flights services to and from Tel Aviv Ben Gurion Airport on May 15th after suspending services following the attack. The fiery Israeli reprisals destroyed the international airport in the capital Sana'a and caused heavy damage to a port in Hodeidah, we are talking about Yemen, and several power stations and a cement factory, officials said. The Sana'a airport will resume operations starting Wednesday, the facilities general said Tuesday. And we know there is another report that said China is going to be actually helping rebuild, if you like, the airport after it got struck with the Israeli missiles. On Sunday, IDF issued an urgent evacuation warning to the 3 Houthis-controlled ports in western Yemen, though no strikes were reported to follow. And these are all warning shots fired by Israel without any substance, without any action. And this is something very bizarre. They said, we will strike these 3 places, but then there was no strike. Shows me 2 things. Either they are not capable of carrying out any more strikes the way they wanted, or it could be that they are just trying to minimize the damage, because the more Yemenis are hurt and killed, the more the Houthis will continue their attack. So, yeah, this is perhaps the reason why US failed. General Michael Kurilla, the head of Central Command, had proposed a campaign of 8 to 10 months in which strikes would take out Houthis' air defense system. And if you take a look at even Donald Trump's rhetoric about the Houthis, he said, we are going to decimate them, we are going to annihilate them, we're going to destroy them. So many promises he made and so many threats. And then he turned around and he started praising the Houthis. The Houthis, whose slogan calls for death to America and a curse on Jews, first began attacking Israel and maritime traffic in November 23, as we know. They have totally in total they have launched almost 71 ballistic missiles. 31 came after March 18th, after the Israeli forces, IDF forces, they resumed their offensive against Hamas in Gaza, and 40 of them came since October 7th, 2023. So in total, 31 plus 40, 71 ballistic missiles Houthis launched against Israel. The sirens warning of missile attacks have sent hundreds of thousands of Israelis rushing to shelters at all hours of the day and night. Again, this is coming from Times of Israel report, and you can imagine they're not going to be lying about this. They're saying that hundreds and thousands and tens and thousands of people all day and night, they were worried, they were rushing for shelters. So this is absolute devastating news for the Israeli state, and the blockade continues on. The fires are coming both from now Gaza and also from Yemen, shows also how ready they are to tackle this IDF forces if they choose to further escalate the situation. Subscribe to my channel for more details and updates of the hours, and I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.